Episode 6. When caring becomes heavy. There's a type of exhaustion that doesn't come from lack of sleep, or long hours, or even physical illness. It's the exhaustion that comes from caring for people, caring for systems, caring for your team, caring for patients, caring for your family, caring for every moving piece of your life, even when no one notices how much you're holding. And sometimes that kind of caring becomes heavy. Not because people are heavy, not because you don't want to help, not because you're weak, but because you're human. And humans are not built to carry everything out alone. Today's episode is about that weight. The emotional labour leaders, carers, patients, NHS staff and empathetic people carry quietly. And it's about what happens when the caring you give others begins to cost you the care you should be giving yourself. The quiet weight of being the strong one. If you're someone who leads with empathy, if you're someone who listens, supports, steps in, takes responsibility, you'll understand this instantly. When people see you as a strong one, you become the place they put their worries. It's rarely malicious. It's rarely intentional. But it happens. And the truth is, I've spent most of my life being the strong one. At home, at work, in pathology, in the NHS, with colleagues, with friends, in leadership roles, even in the middle of my own health challenges. People see your steadiness, your calm, your reliability, and they assume you're fine. Because strong people look fine, even when they're not. Caring through illness, a contradiction no one sees. During my deterioration in 2018, during the diagnosis, during the recovery, during the uncertainty of whether I'd ever work again, people often said, "You're doing amazing. You're so strong. You always look so calm." And I was calm. But what they didn't see was the emotional labour underneath it. The effort it takes to reassure everyone around you when you are the one with the uncertain future. The effort it takes to remain composed when you're processing fear privately. The effort it takes to carry your illness while protecting others from the emotional impact of it. Illness becomes heavier when you try to make it easier for everyone else. Caring at work, the cost of holding everything. Then came 2024, the restructure, the undervaluing, the job uncertainty, the pressure, and the emotional and physical collapse. But underneath all that was something deeper. I wasn't just doing 3 jobs. I was carrying the emotional health of the whole team. Because when you're the steady one, people lean on you. When there's confusion, they come to you. When there's tension, they come to you. When something breaks, they come to you. When someone panics, they come to you. And you carry it, because that's who you are. But here's what I learned. Being strong for everyone else becomes dangerous when no one is being strong for you. I was carrying emotional burdens left, right and centre, not because I had to, but because it's who I've always been. Until my body said, "You're holding too much, you need to put some of this down." The moment everything became too heavy. In July 2024, after doing 3 roles, after holding a team together, after trying to remain stable through a restructure that felt like quicksand, after supporting others while my own job was uncertain, my body collapsed again. But this collapse wasn't just physical, it was emotional. It was a moment, years of caring for the NHS, for colleagues, for systems, for workloads, for family, for the well-being of others caught up with me all at once. In coronary care, while hooked up to monitors again, I realised something that changed everything. Caring is not the same as sacrificing, and I had been sacrificing myself for far too long. The leadership truth most people avoid. Here's the leadership lesson people don't talk about. Empathy without boundaries becomes self-destruction. You cannot pour endlessly. You cannot be the emotional foundation for everyone. You cannot pick up every piece. You cannot absorb every crisis. Not long term. Not sustainably. Not safely. And not without consequences. Empathy is strength, but only when it has edges. When caring becomes a burden. There were moments where I felt responsible for everyone's emotional state, where their stress became my stress, their panic became my panic, their crisis became my responsibility. And do you know what happens when you're always the one people turn to? People stop asking how you are. Not because they don't care, but because they forget the strong ones break too. If you're listening to this and something inside you is nodding, please hear this. You deserve support too. You deserve rest too. You deserve care too. The three pressures that break caring people. Through my journey, I've discovered there are three kinds of weights that break empathetic leaders. 1. Silent responsibility. Carrying what no one sees. Fixing what no one recognises. Supporting without acknowledgement. 2. Emotional absorption. Taking on the emotions of a whole team, a whole family, a whole life, until your nervous system can't distinguish between theirs from yours. 3. Identity pressure. Believing you must be strong because you've always been strong. This one is deadly. It stops you from asking for help. It stops you from slowing down. It stops you from resting. It stops you from telling the truth about how you feel. It nearly cost me my health more than once. And now a practical tool. Simple, powerful and honest. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What am I holding that isn't mine? Someone else's stress? Someone else's workload? Someone else's emotions? 2. What am I pretending isn't heavy? Your job? Your expectations? Your responsibilities? Your relationships? 3. What would lighten the load this week? Delegation? A conversation? A boundary? A moment of truth? Don't analyse, just answer. Your nervous system already knows the truth. And now a reflective moment for you. Close your eyes for a moment. Ask yourself, where has caring turned into carrying? Where has empathy turned into exhaustion? Where have you become the strong one at your own expense? Let the honesty rise. Let it be heard. Let it be witnessed, even if only by you. You don't have to be strong all the time. You just have to be real. That's where true strength lives. The year I learned this lesson I almost broke again. Not because of illness, not because of failure, but because I cared too much for too long without caring for myself. And this episode, this message, is for anyone who's been quietly breaking under the weight of being the strong one. Remember, caring is beautiful. Caring is powerful. Caring is noble. But caring should not cost you yourself. You become unbreakable, not by holding everything, but by learning what to put down. If this episode resonated with you, especially if you're someone who carries emotional weight quietly, supports others without being supported yourself, or feels the tiredness that comes from always holding space, you're very welcome to follow Becoming Unbreakable for future episodes. And if you know someone who is caring deeply, leading responsibly, or quietly struggling under emotional load, sharing this episode may help them feel seen, understood, and less alone.